Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel where I've been working through packing up our house to move to the Cayman Islands. In this video, I'm rounding up packing the house with the lounge and the kitchen. This house was very small with minimal furniture and decor. Most of my decor items were also sentimental items that made the paring down very difficult. Good evening. It is about 5-6 weeks before the move, and I can only take 2 suitcases, and I don't think I'll be taking any of these. So let's pack up and we'll see what I get rid of in this little section of my house. And this is the after. I am not taking any of these things with me, even though these are the things that I hung onto as a minimalist. Right, next up is these 4 small cupboards, and they literally only have some Tupperware items in it. I really wanted to take these ones with me, my marinators, but I'll get some nice ones on the other side. We'll see what's up there. We lived in this house for nearly 18 years and renovated each space to suit our needs. We loved this house and will forever miss it. I ended up taking some sentimental items to my sister in Cape Town that is storing it for me, but it fits into one large storage container. It's another day, and today, excuse the mess, I did not clean this morning before I started because, yeah. Yesterday we cleared out that cupboard and these cupboards, and this morning I quickly want to just clear out these and remove what I'm not going to take with me, and hopefully I'll be getting to doing some of those. That's going to be a brain tease, but let me see what we can get done. I think I'm just going to get rid of all of these. Because I think it'll give me a good indication of when I get to the other side what I might need to rebuy. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to take any of this with me. That one was empty. Do you think we need to replace that? I think what I'm going to keep is this one. I use it quite often, and this large one, and then I'll let these go. This is a little butter dish, a little crystal butter dish. I don't know, I inherited it from my grandmother, and she's had it since I can remember. So I think I'm not going to add this to the items that were sold. I think I'm going to add this to the items that I'm going to take down and give to my sister, or if she doesn't want it, it'll just go into a tote for storage until I can rejoin with this beautiful memory. Let's move on to this drawer. This is going to be hard because I started replacing a lot of my Tupperware with glass. So I think I'm going to hold on to these two. These were the blue containers I chucked out yesterday. We actually use these, we do a mixture of salt water and bicarb, and we use it for our noses because of the air pollution in Johannesburg. So this really helps us, and especially Andrew works on mines where there's a lot of mining dust. So yeah, that one for me is one we use daily. So These 3 is what I use for his lunch boxes. They from Tupperware, it's actual Tupperware, and you can reheat food in them. So I do like these because I know there's no real toxins in them. This is going to be hard. I just bought them and they're really pretty. The items I brought with me basically fitted into 7 large bags, and the rest of the items in my life I had sell or donate. As mentioned before, I found a buyer for the content of my house. She said that we can send everything, and whatever she could not use, she will trash or donate on our behalf. This made the process of removing the items so much easier. This entire experience was extremely traumatic for me, but I can now look back and see what I think will make this process easier if ever I have to do this again. Knowing how Andrew dealt with change and giving up his stuff and respecting his emotional attachment to physical items is what led me to let go of unnecessary items as soon as possible. I think there is 2 ways to let go of your stuff. One will be to rip off the band-aid and let all be moved in one day, and the other would be the way we did it, and that was to let things go gradually over the 7-week period prior to leaving. There is no correct way to do this, but I feel that in doing what we did led us to realize how little we actually need and use in our house. It made us feel in control during a very uncertain time and also gave us time to process the loss and deal with each step of immigration as it drifted past. I also felt that it was important to take some loved and very often used items to surround us in the new house, like our favorite mugs and cooking items. We were not prepared for the initial newness a new country holds, but I do feel that the few items of our own stuff around us made it a bit more comfortable. In South Africa, we followed a carnivore diet, and this is why I have so much Tupperware in the pantry that was not in use. These were bought when Andrew followed a vegan diet, and our dry ingredients were a lot more. If I could, I would have taken all of my kitchen items with me, but the Cayman Islands is not like any other country where you can ship over a container of sorts. If that was the case, I could have fitted most of the house in a small container. I'm not saying that it is not possible to ship to the Cayman, but it is extremely expensive and in most cases not worth the financial expense. That's not bad. So that's all I'm keeping for us to use on a regular basis. So when we're going to, the place will be furnished. Hopefully, I've got 8 of everything. It's just me and my husband. That's not very minimalistic. But I'm lazy for doing dishes. So that's my reasoning. And we actually do cycle through this. I run my dishwasher daily. If I don't, then we run out of dishes. So we're not good with reusing plates, cups. Not our strong point. So what we have is wine glasses, normal glasses, coffee, and down there's just everyday things. So I think on this shelf I'm going to remove some things and I'm going to remove everything there, but not anything there or at the bottom, because this is also like my cutlery crockery. I use it every day. I'll be getting rid of all of those, none of those, none of those. Just maybe that container, this I'll move to the drawer. Some of those, and most of those. Okay, so let's start. So, like I mentioned, there is no right or wrong way in doing this. But for me, I should have stopped working sooner. The role I take on in our marriage is the person who takes charge of the house and the admin. When you immigrate, there is a lot of admin and house to manage and make decisions on. It did affect my work and put a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself. The minimal mom always talks about bandwidth. And that is all I can describe it as. There is so many decisions to be made and action that needs to be taken the last month in a country that your bandwidth is way too small to manage everything. So by not working, there is way more time for all the nitty-gritties. The one thing I managed to cancel before leaving was my TV license. It was such an achievement. There is this website that you can download an affidavit that needs to be certified. I literally sent that with all the documentation I can think of, and after paying what was due and following up a few times, I got the mail that said it was cancelled the day before we left. It was such a relief. But other things that we had to deal with and keep in consideration was things that will impact us financially in the long term if we are out of the country, like our personal taxes and bank accounts that remain open, moving money out of the country and how that will impact us long term, if it will be best decisions or not. More simple things were if we should keep Netflix or what to use as additional luggage and what extra toiletries to bring with, what our last meal in the country will be, and if we would allow people at the airport with us. The most difficult part of the final month was that life continued as usual with all the madness in the background, and even though everything is like you know it, nothing is like you know it, and your house is a mess. We are not planning on coming back to South Africa to live anytime soon. So for us, it was a simple decision that everything had to go, but the actions needed to make that happen was a bit more difficult. The difficulty is also a two-part series, as the first part is to uplift in South Africa, and the second part was to find our feet and our new normal in the new country. If you missed it, I will try to link the video I made the first week on the island. It was the weirdest experience I've ever went through. Now, with all that said, keep in mind that this was my experience and I do not like traveling at all. I've also never left South Africa or really traveled within South Africa. Andrew enjoys traveling a bit, but for holiday purposes only. So immigrating was not in our comfort zone at all. This video was taken the last 24 hours before we had to go. I could not pack these items sooner, as these were the everyday items I used in the final weeks prior to leaving. I really wanted to bring most of what remained in the house and kitchen with me to the Cayman, but we had major luggage restraints and I just could not. Stick around to the end to see what all I brought with me to the island. I will let you know what of the glassware makes it. We won't tell my husband I packed it. Now, that being said, if I had to do this again, I do not think that I would bring any additional toiletries or kitchen items with me. It is nice having them, and having coffee in my favorite mug each morning is great, but the stress of having the amount of luggage and the additional money we spent on luggage was really not worth it. So the Tupperware I decided to take is really Tupperware that I use every single day. This is the Tupperware that I chose to keep in the transition period, and we literally used every single piece. I will not be able to take the large glass bowl, but for the rest, I really do want to take it with me. And this is it. With this video, the house is packed, and the next video I will do a quick run through of the house after they collected the first items. But after that, all my content will be about life in a new country. I hope you enjoyed the series, and if you did, please click on the subscribe button in the bottom right corner to add me to your favorite list. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video, and until next week, remember to enjoy living life. What I've got in front of me is everything that I decided I could not live without coming to the island, or not that I couldn't live without it. These items would make my life more comfortable if I lived in the Cayman Islands. I am living in the Cayman Islands. When I live in the Cayman Islands, I'm living in the Cayman Islands. Right. So what we have here, and originally I had 3 of each size, and even the smaller one than this and the little round ones. But our bags were way heavier than what they would allow for. So I had to pull items, and I was literally pulling items as Andrew was carrying bags out of the house. I do know of 2 other people that said that exact same thing to me. So for anyone that's immigrating, that's a thing. You will be pulling items because your bags are too heavy. And if you don't do it at home, they will actually make you do it at the airport. So rather invest in one of those little suitcase wire thingies and get it done. So I used to have 3 of each. Now I've got 3 of the large ones, 3 of these, only 2 of those, 1 of this. The reason why I decided to bring Space Savers from Tupperware is because I needed airlocked containers that can keep dry goods like pasta, sugar, cereal fresh for a long time. We were forewarned, and with the research that I've done, it is extremely humid. Right, so this is my Tupperware, that's a little shaker, and this is an egg divider. So it divides your egg white from your egg yolk. That's what that is. And kitchen scissors. This is kitchen cup and spoon. And I brought 2 dishcloths. Again, I like to prepare for the worst and then just roll with the punches, because some things in life you can control and other things you can't control. I brought 2 dish towels. I am not sad I brought dish towels because I've been using this one. I just pulled it out of the wash. Luckily, it doesn't look too bad. So I brought that one. This one I literally cut up the day I landed because I didn't have anything to wash dishes with. So they came in handy. Then I've got my La Creuset salt and pepper grinder. We're struggling to find coarse salt in the island, so we're actually using a fine salt, Redmond's real salt, the fine one. So that's that. This is water bottles that we used in South Africa daily. It was our gymming bottles. We took it with us to work. And currently, if we go to the beach, if we go for a walk, if I go to the gym, it's our water bottle. This is also my water bottle that I use by the filter coffee machine to top it up with water every day. So not sad that I brought them. I have been using them daily. These are the Tupperwares that I decided to bring with these 3 glass containers for Tupperware. I have been using them very often, and I'm not sad that I brought them. This is 2 spatulas that I cook with, an egg flipper, a ladle. I think these 2 were a bit over the top. Don't have to bring them. Most of the units in the Cayman is furnished, so like the measuring cups and the ladle and the spoon, they have them when you land. So it was a bit of an overkill, but these things I'm loving. I love cooking with them. I use them daily, so I'm glad I brought them. And then 2 tongs, because everybody needs tongs. Again, not sorry I brought them, because I really struggled for the longest time to find proper tongs that won't bend and that will be strong enough to pick up a nice 800-gram T-bone steak. So those work perfectly, and I do think no matter what happens, I will definitely cart them with me forever. It's the spatulas and the tongs. This is a Victorinox tin opener. We've got metal straws, so that's the brush for it. And then my Victorinox knives. This is a bit of overkill because technically this and those spoons are exactly the same thing. So I didn't need to bring it, but we use it if I make a salt water solution for our noses, then this is what I use it for. So that's actually why I brought it. Haven't made salt water yet because we bought the saline containers. So that's why I haven't made a solution yet. But the day's going to come that we're going to run out of the solution, and then we're going to be making our own. And then this will come in handy. That's a large Victorinox bread knife. So this you've seen on one of my previous videos. It's a fire lighter and Weber gloves for the braai that I decided to bring with. I'm not sad I brought these because we don't have pot holders, or what do you use to take stuff out of the oven with? Mittens? I don't know. Pot holders? No. Whatever. Oven mitts? Gloves? Oven gloves? I don't know. We didn't have any in the flat when we moved in, so I'm really glad I brought this. At the bottom here is 2 genuine leather placemats that I had made for the island. I asked my cousin when she made me my backpack to please make me 2 placemats that me and Andrew can use to eat on. This is Andrew's favorite mug. This is a little flask he takes to the office every single day. He's got a small Stanley cup that I sent to the office with him as well. This one he forgot this morning, so he's got this one and his Stanley cup that he takes to the office. This is my travel mug, and this is my favorite mug. These are my favorite mugs. Now, looking at everything that I brought with me from South Africa, considering that I came to the Cayman Islands and that you can't ship in a cube, and that we were forewarned that things are more expensive on this side, and I didn't know what to expect, and I do like to prepare very well and then roll with the punches, I am not sad that I brought any of this with me. If I have to redo it, and if money was really tight, then none of this is necessary, and you could get by without any of these. So that being said, it's a personal decision whether you will make the same decisions or not. I haven't been sad of my decisions. Things that I did buy since landing: a potato masher, and then I bought myself one of these. This is the 2 items that I did purchase since being on the island. So I think if I have to give advice, then I would say, if money is tight, don't spend it on this kind of things. If money is not tight and you want to bring it with you, go ahead, bring it with you. This has brought me an extreme amount of joy, having a touch of home here, because I had to get rid of so many things. On the other hand, if you walk into a unit and they don't have something that you might need, you buy it. And it's not the end of the world. This was $3. So, this is the end of my rambling. Thank you so much for joining me for quite a long video. If you've stuck around till the end, please do me a favor, subscribe to my videos, give it a thumbs up, because it does help out my channel a lot, and I am enjoying making these, even if it's just for myself. So, thank you for hanging around and sharing a part of your day with me. Have a nice one.